Hello, and thank you for tuning into this week's Mayor's Update. As always, we have a lot of important information to share with you here this week, so please feel free to share this video with your friends, family, relatives, and anyone else who you think may find this information helpful over the course of the coming week. This past week, we had our annual Light the Town Purple event out on the front steps of Gardner City Hall. For those of you who may not be familiar with that event, that is the kickoff event for the Relay for Life, in which we light Gardner City Hall purple as a sign of hope for those who are battling with cancer and their caregivers, to show that our efforts with the Relay for Life are underway. While the Relay for Life will not be taking place in its traditional fashion on the campus of Mount Wachusett Community College with the normal 24-hour walk that we're used to having here in Gardner, there will be some events to help replace what we've seen in years past that fit with the COVID-19 pandemic situation which we're in. While the restrictions are going to be lifted, and we'll get a little bit more into that later on in this video, by the time that the relay was supposed to be, it's just simply too quick for us to be able to put something together through the relay committee. So we are glad to see that the Relay for Life committee kind of stepped up and came up with these new different events for the community to go through, and I can't thank them enough for that. They will be a drive-through luminary service, and as well as some other different activities on a couple of the weekends in June to help replace what we normally saw. But the Relay for Life is still happening, and that is why our Light the Town Purple event was still just as important to have, because we really want to make sure that those who are struggling with cancer in the community, both themselves or just our friends, family, relatives, caregivers of those who are struggling with cancer, we want to make sure that they know they have the full support of the city behind them too. So thank you very much to all of the organizers of the Relay for Life and that Light the Town Purple event for putting that together again this year. This past week, I was invited to join our state legislators on a tour of Gardner High School's manufacturing and engineering classrooms to see some of the work that's been done there, both through the grants that we receive from the state and from grants that they have received from the Williams Rockwell Educational Gift Fund that was set up a couple years ago, to see the different progress that our students can now start to get real work skills in the classroom on top of the traditional reading, writing, and arithmetic that we are teaching in our curriculum as well. Following that, we met with some of the students in our early college program to talk about their successes in that program as well. For those of you who may not know what our early college program is, we have a partnership with Mount Wachusett Community College in which students at the high school can take classes on the Mount's campus and have them count towards both a college degree and their high school diploma as well. So if a student takes a math class at the Mount, they get college credit for that math class, and it counts as their high school math requirement there. This year, we have 32 students who are graduating from our early college program. 10 of those students will be getting a full associate's degree at the same time that I'll be handing them their high school diploma at their Gardner High School graduation. So that's really exciting to see how we are one of the more successful early college programs in the state here in Gardner. And I can't thank Mount Wachusett Community College enough for their partnership with Gardner Public Schools to make sure that we are able to offer this program in a way that really sets the stage for other people in the state to follow. 32 students coming out of high school with at least 12 college credits, let alone the 10 that have a full college degree at the same time they're getting their high school diploma, is an excellent thing for us to celebrate here. So I do want to congratulate those students as well. And if anyone has any questions on our early college program or how our manufacturing innovative pathway, which is a traditional school's equivalent to a trade in a trade school, is moving forward, please feel free to contact us at any time, and we can certainly put you in the direction on where you can find more information on those topics. Memorial Day is coming up this coming week. We do have a couple of ceremonies here that are still changed a little bit because of the COVID-19 pandemic, but are just as meaningful here in the city. At 10 a.m., our traditional Memorial Day ceremony will take place at Monument Park. This is replacing the annual parade that we would normally have in the city, where we parade through several of the places throughout the city of Gardner and have different ceremonies of remembrance for Memorial Day. There will be one consolidated ceremony at Monument Park at 10 a.m. Following the conclusion of that ceremony at 12 noon, there will be the formal dedication and renaming ceremony for the Pleasant Street Bridge and the rededication of Polish American Veterans Square over at the end of Greenwood Street. Several people may remember back before the bridge was under construction that there was the flagpole with the monument to the Polish American veterans in the middle of the road there that has been relocated as part of the landscaping efforts that were associated with the reopening of the Pleasant Street Bridge, and the bridge's formal renaming ceremony after Corporal Lawrence Lucasavicius, who was a Gardner resident who was killed in World War II in a submarine mission, will be taking place at that time as well. So again, 10 a.m. Monument Park, our traditional Memorial Day ceremonies, and 12 noon over at the Pleasant Street Bridge, we will have the official naming ceremony and rededication of the square in that location as well. Our paving efforts in the downtown for Phase 1 have officially completed this past week. Crews were out this past week paving Central Street, a little bit of Pine Street, Main Street, City Hall Avenue, Nicholson Street, and Pleasant Street. That was all Phase 1 of our water and infrastructure improvement project in the downtown area. Phase 2, which will be Parker Street from the downtown square all the way down to Jean Street, will commence probably sometime mid-June to early July, and we're expected to be out of this downtown area by the end of September in terms of our new pipes, paving, and sidewalks, lighting structures, and everything else that's coming with our new downtown infrastructure improvement project. I want to say thank you very much to everyone for their patience during that time. I understand that these are some main roads that people use to get in and out of the city, to and from work, but this is something that we really don't do that often. We haven't paved these streets downtown since 2007, and the infrastructure under the roads has not been replaced since 1903. So the fact that we're able to do this 100+ year project now is great for us, but we do understand that it has been a disruption for many, particularly our downtown businesses who had a lot handed to them this past year with the COVID-19 pandemic. But thank you very much for your patience. We've done the main part of it, and now we've got 3 phases left after that in terms of just getting some newer above ground infrastructure put in place, and we'll get through it together. And by the time it's done, downtown is going to look great, and I'm really excited to see what opportunities that will spur in terms of seeing how when we invest in our community, it gives other people a reason to invest in us as well. I'd like to say a special congratulations to Lieutenant Nicholas Maroney from the Gardner Police Department, who was named this year's Officer of the Year. If you remember, a couple months ago, we had to have the 2020 Officer of the Year award ceremony held a little later in the year because of the COVID-19 restrictions, in which that was given to Officer John Lawrence. The 2021 Officer of the Year at the Gardner Police Department was awarded to Lieutenant Nick Maroney. He has been a great asset to many people here in the city. He's one of our school resource officers. Our students in the school know him quite well, and I can't think of someone else more deserving of that award for all of the different grant opportunities they've brought to the department, the interactions they do with their community policing. You know, he's really been someone who has been a face in this community, and I think many people can relate to Lieutenant Maroney very well. So congratulations to Lieutenant Maroney for that very important award, and to every other member of the Gardner Police Department who received their commendations this past week, as well at the annual Police Association banquet. Now we're going to close today just by talking about some of the things that Governor Baker has announced with regard to the COVID-19 restrictions here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The restrictions in terms of the requirement and a mandate to wear a mask, to social distance, and all of the other capacity limits and all of the other aspects that were associated with restrictions to curb the spread of COVID-19 will expire on May 29th. That means that while it is not state required, someone does not have to wear a mask if they're out in public unless the establishment in which they are visiting determines that they still have a mask policy. For instance, if you go to a restaurant, the restaurant is still able to require you to wear a mask on that premise. However, when you leave that premise, you are not required to wear a mask. And if the establishment that you are visiting does not have a mask policy, you do not have to wear a mask as well. You do have the personal choice to wear a mask if you yourself choose to, or a business or an establishment can require you to still wear a mask. The other places that are being exempt from the lifting of the mask mandate are hospitals, nursing homes, and schools. Students in schools will still have to wear a mask when they are in the classroom for the time being, due to the vaccine not being eligible to people under the age of 12 at the current time. But our vaccine process is still going. We are still operating on a walk-in basis over at the Polish American Citizens Club with our partnership with Haywood Hospital. And we do ask that you please respect those businesses and establishments that have decided to still continue with their own personal mask policy for their customers as well. The state of emergency that Governor Baker declared on March 12, 2020 will expire on June 15, 2021. What this also means with it is certain executive orders that the governor has signed that are related to that declaration of a state of emergency will expire on June 15th as well. This includes the executive order allowing for the suspension of certain provisions of the open meeting law. The City Council has announced that they will be returning to in-person meetings in the City Council chamber here at Gardner City Hall for their July meeting. The school committee will be returning to the council chamber as well around that time. And the governor is expected to release some transition guidance from going from remote meetings to back in person. That has not been released yet, but we are expecting that soon. But just know that we are still making it an effort to try to make sure that the public does have full access to the proceedings of our government in terms of our boards, commissions, elected official meetings, and so on from there. So we are working with our technology director and other personnel here in the city to see if there's a way that we can still record those meetings to upload them on the city's YouTube page, because there has been such a good response to that. Kind of like how we have these mayor's update videos here once a week, and we're looking to see if we can build off of that to get more and more up on this platform so that people are more informed as to what's going on here in City Hall. However, that concludes this week's update. As always, I look forward to speaking again next week, but until we do speak again, please continue to keep track of your own mental and physical health during these trying times. Now that the weather's getting a little nicer, try to get outside and get your mind off the craziness of the world and just take some time to relax and enjoy the weather, smell the roses, and just enjoy what we have here in the city. We've got a lot to offer in terms of our walking trails, our recreational facilities, our parks, our playgrounds, and it's just a nice time of the year to get out and really enjoy the amenities that we have to offer. Please let us know if there's any questions that you need answers. We're always here to speak with you all. But until then, I look forward to speaking with you again next week. Thank you very much, and have a good day.